When I started university, I was 16 and a half, 17. I was a scholarship student, right? This is one of the things that I'm really proud of, that I'm 100% self-made. I didn't have a trust fund, I didn't have my husband's money, and I love that about it because it's always kept me hungry.
Welcome to this week's edition of Indigo Living on the Couch series. Each week we invite special guests to inspire you and inspire me. This week I'm so thrilled to have my friend and very talented interior designer and product designer, Pallavi Dean. Welcome to Indigo Living.
Hi, Rosemond.
And thank you to our new set. This is the new set of the week.
I love it. It's great.
We are thrilled to have you, and the minute we announced that you were coming on, our Instagram messages were just flooding because we have so many interior designers who follow you, who are inspired by your work, and so we have lots of questions, not only that I have prepared, but I'm going to ask you from a lot of our followers as well.
Fantastic. I like the social media friendly stools as well.
That's great. Yep, if you can see that, it's a hashtag and @. So if you're following us, make sure you're following us on Indigo Living UAE, and of course, Design by Roar. That is your Instagram. Now, I remember following you and it was Pallavi Dean. You've changed it.
That's right. You know, we changed to Roar in September last year, and it was kind of, when it was me, Pallavi Dean made sense, but I work with a bunch of talented designers, and I just thought it was a bit egotistical, narcissistical, you know, to have just my name on the door. So I think Roar represents all of us.
That's so nice. So now we've changed the name to Design by Roar.
Yeah.
You have an incredible team, but you are the leader of the pack. It is your vision. How is it to be the boss? You are this. You're the hashtag of girl boss. Yeah.
I know, it's really interesting because we have a very flat structure in the office, right? There's no hierarchy. So I've hired designers who are at my level or better than me. And I think just surrounding yourself with people who are of a certain caliber just raises your game. We're an all-girls team. Like, that wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional, but we're a series of very strong women. And I would shun any theory that talks about the queen bee syndrome or women not looking out for each other, because we get on just fine, and you know, we're raising the bar of design across the region, I think.
So what is your favorite part of design? Because you create products, you design beautiful environments. Is there one space that you're more passionate about than the other?
I think it's a process, like you said, right? Whether you design a pencil or a skyscraper. I'm an architect, right? That's my first degree. I think for me, it's that creative process. It's that first phase where you conceptualize an idea. And for me, it's now become very intuitive because I've been doing it for 15 years. But where that inspiration strikes and how you grab that and run with it, for me, that's always been fascinating and will continue to be so. You know, when I started university, I was 16 and a half, 17. I was a scholarship student, right? This is one of the things that I'm really proud of, that I'm 100% self-made. I didn't have a trust fund, I didn't have my husband's money, and I love that about it because it's always kept me hungry. So even now when people look at me and they're like, oh wow, you won these awards, you've got these amazing projects, you know, you're good, right? And I'm like, no, I'm still gonna wake up at 4 a.m. and do exactly what I was doing 15 years ago. I still design toilets. And it's a joke because everyone's like, oh, you're a design director. I was like, no, but I do everything any other designer would do.
What are 3 tips that you can give to an upcoming interior designer?
So my big advice to young designers is, number 1, please just throw yourself into the role. Don't go into an internship or into a job thinking, I'm going to design a skyscraper, I'm going to design a beautiful house on day 1. No, you're going to do toilets, you're going to do sample libraries, you're going to do all that other stuff that really adds sort of the gravitas to our profession, right? It's not all glamorous. I spend a lot of time on site. And I think if you understand that our role is very holistic, not just the pretty things, it's going to take you much further in your career.
That is amazing. And I know whoever's watching this segment is going to be inspired because it truly does take hard work. So you sound very busy. We've hit 3 key points that you do in your career, but let's go to the other side of home life.
Yeah.
You're a mother of 2.
That's right.
How are you juggling all of it? So,
you know, I get asked this question all the time. People are like, oh my God, you're so perfect. You've got the home life, you've got the business, you're winning the awards. It's not a walk in the park, you know. I compartmentalize my life, and I think I'm really good at it. So I think 3 days a week, I'm a brilliant mom. But 4 days a week, I'm a really good designer, or I'm a really good wife or a daughter. And I've just come to this kind of conclusion that I can't be everyone every day. So one day I'll be really good and I'll go to the gym. The other day I'm just going to be in my studio, selfishly doing deep creative work. For me, that's what works.
When it comes to branding, we talk about not only your company, but personal branding. You have a great style. It's super chic. What is your secret when it comes to fashion?
Well, I thought it was obvious. I just follow at Rosman's World. Doesn't everybody in
Love
Dubai?
her. Love her.
Which is true, it's actually true.
No, thank you so much.
But I think, again, like you know, Rosman, fashion is so personal. I think I'm kind of bipolar when it comes to fashion. So one day I'll be Audrey Hepburn and it's all about the timeless classic dresses, right? And the other day I just want to be, I don't know, Katy Perry or Pink, and it's all about my pop art, funky, metallics, crazy stuff. So I think it just varies on a day-to-day basis, and there's no trend, I think, in fashion as well. It's about just feeling the mood and going with what you feel like doing.
And what works for you.
And what works for you and your body type.
Yes. But before we end, let's talk about what Live Beautifully means to you.
For me, Live Beautifully is about being content. And in a space, it's about having that balance within that space, and that's personal to each one of us. So I would say don't start with a Pinterest board or, you know, following the latest trend in an interior design magazine. Go down to the bare bones of what it is to you to live beautifully. So for me, it's contentment, and it might be different for you.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, we loved having you on the show. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your story and, of course, inspiring everyone.
Thank you, Rosman. I loved being here.
So if you're watching us today, we would love to hear from you. We're so excited to have Pallavi Dean on the show, a brilliant interior designer and a product designer. Make sure you're following us on IGTV and of course Indigo Living UAE. We can't wait to see you next week.